Okay, I guess first item, I guess if you want to go ahead and have call to order.
Okay, so the was it the Water and Sewer Committee call to order?
Okay. And first item up is the Stormwater Utility Study Committee. And let me change the screen I'm sharing. These are names that we came up with, and people that are willing to serve on the committee based on the criteria that we had established with the committee. We had a list of, basically, we wanted one community advocate, somebody, I guess, associated with conservation, somebody associated with development, 3 large commercial owners, 3 small business owners, and at least like 1 residential HOA representative. And basically the names would be Sam Bauer. He's the only person I believe on the list who was on the original committee. Is that correct, Wayne?
That is correct, Randy. Yes.
Okay. Representing conservation would be Dan Maderick. He's with Trout Unlimited. Of course, he lives here in town. Development community, we'd have Jim Wessel from Showcase Home Builders. Representing large commercial, Joseph Kuhn from the Newer Valley Mall, Uptown Christiansburg. Todd Holt from Moog. And Scott Obenchain, pastor from Blue Ridge Church. Small business representatives, we'd have Steve Simonis from Balzer and Associates, Jason Poff from MDI Safety, Bob Poff from Valleywide Management, and residential HOA representative, we'd have Catherine Dowling from Villas at Peppers Ferry HOA. These are, I guess, like I say, suggestions from staff based on the representation that was desired. We have had other people suggested. We're open to, I guess, whoever the committee would want to recommend, but we did reach out to all of these people, and they are all willing to serve.
I see nothing wrong. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just saying I don't have a problem with the list. I think it's a good list.
I agree.
I do have this on the agenda for tonight's council meeting, so I assume that this is acceptable to the committee. We'll just basically say that's recommendation of the committee.
I'm good with that.
And Randy and committee, my apologies. Catherine Dowling reached out to me. There's another member of their HOA who has an engineering background, she said, and she had requested that he be on the committee as well. I can find that email from her, and I apologize, Randy, I didn't get that information to you before this meeting.
I don't need, do we need 2 people from one organization though?
Well, I didn't want to turn her down, ma'am. Do I feel we need to? No.
Is this from the villas?
Yes, sir.
You could use it as, you could use him since he does have some experience, obviously, of an engineer, just as a citizen member. I mean, they all are residents of Christiansburg, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Or business owners. I can't really speak to where they reside.
Yeah.
Certainly residents or business owners in the town. Yes, sir.
Randy, did we have someone that represented citizens?
We do. We have, I guess, Mr. Bauer, I guess, even though he's community advocate, I guess he is a resident of the town. He's retired Virginia Tech professor.
Did we have any alternates on the previous one?
No, we did not.
Marissa, what about as an alternate in case somebody has to drop? I mean, there's not going to be, I mean, this is going to be I would assume, a pretty fast process when it comes to the slow moving wheels of government, but I would anticipate if somebody had to go out, And if he just wants to attend as an alternate, I mean, not as a vote, not as their official voting member, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I would only like to see one person from the villas. I think that they would need to pick who they would want that to be.
Okay.
And like you said, the other person could be an alternative.
You
But I think
that'd
that
be all
that may give one person a bit of an unfair advantage if we allow two people from one company.
right?
And I can finesse that. Yes, I believe I can.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I'll answer to anything, Wayne. It's all good.
Okay.
So Marissa, do you want to put this forward in the form of a motion tonight if we're both under agreement? I'll
Yes,
second.
I would.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
I, I want to say for the record, after the last meeting, that I know there was one member in the audience who spoke up and requested to be on the committee. I added his name to the list, but having established the list of who we wanted to call initially, I received very little pushback, a lot of enthusiasm to be on the committee, so did not feel the need to reach out any further to other members, other potential members.
I understand, Wayne. If we don't put some kind of a cutoff, it could just go infinity. So I think you've done the right thing.
I know that's situation's a little contentious, and just
Right.
wanted to handle it with kid gloves the best I could.
Right. And I would just hearing the names on the committee members right now, they're not contentious. So
Correct.
that's the kind of committee you want,
Mhm.
where we respect their points of view and you know, they're all, most of them are professionals that are on here. So I would anticipate that they're going to really dig into the matter and come back to us, whether it's with an increase or keep it the same or decrease.
And I will mention, Randy, I don't know how much, if you checked your email, but excuse me. Andy Kassoff has submitted their proposal to us right at $7,000 for their assistance with this process. That will include a council presentation.
Maybe
Sounds
I'm
good.
lost. What was that for?
Andy Kassoff with EEE Engineering,
Mhm.
similar to our first round when we established this committee and this fee. He facilitated those meetings, and he's going to do the same for this second go around. And he and his staff will help us pull together all the necessary information for these meetings. And in the end, he will present a presentation to council.
Oh, I don't want to appear negative, but is that a process that's necessary to spend that money to get feedback from a committee? Is there a reason we would do that and not just internally?
Well, I feel that's important, ma'am, in that there's continuity between the two efforts, our initial and this time. And quite frankly, Andy Kassoff is very well versed in this area throughout the state in helping other localities implement and manage stormwater utility fees.
Mhm.
And given the short duration of this, I feel it's important for that continuity. And with his expertise, it'll add to the process.
Gotcha. And Randy, where do those funds come from?
That would be from the stormwater utility fund, basically the enterprise fund.
So that's a viable expense for that fund. It's okay to have consulting in there?
It is, as long as
Okay.
it's related to stormwater.
Okay, all right. I appreciate that explanation, Wayne.
Thank you, ma'am. You're welcome.
Of course, we would have public input. It would be welcome during the process, and we would, as Wayne mentioned, have some input meetings available for the general public too during the process, because we certainly want public input.
Mhm.
And that may be important to mention this evening for those who may be disappointed that they didn't get selected for the committee. There will be the opportunity for all citizens to express their opinion and thoughts and concerns and support.
Mhm. Yes. And I think, when this does happen to where we roll it out to the public, some education would be very helpful. Some people just don't understand what the money goes for.
You are so right. Yes, ma'am, you are so right about that.
Right?
Sounds good. Are we done with number 2?
You
I think so.
guys are.
All right. So number 3, consideration of placement of town-owned property.
Basically considering placing this town-owned property. This would be the Diamond Hill South portion of that park, and also a portion of the Wades Lane landfill property into a conservation easement. If we were to do that, it would basically help offset purchase of water quality credits for our park construction. Is that something you would want to entertain?
What's the downside of doing this?
Once you place it in a conservation easement, then basically the property is undevelopable.
Right, but the Diamond Hills, I mean, that's all sort of a wetland, and then Wage Lane is a landfill, which I guarantee you in probably my kids' lifetimes, you'll never even be able to do anything with it. So I don't have a problem with it.
It seems like a good idea because it's like wetland credits, right? Is it pretty much the same thing?
That's correct, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Because you can purchase those anywhere, right? Or
Yeah,
people can?
there's certain banks that are open for purchase of credits. Yes, ma'am. And this was factored into the GMP for the park.
Mhm.
There's a cost-saving measure on, I'll credit town staff with coming up with this idea that these are properties that the town will never see develop, most likely. And now we're going to use it to our advantage and offset some of the cost to construct the park.
Randy, is this something that you are planning to bring up this evening?
It's something I need to bring up before council. Wayne, as far as timing, does it need to come up tonight or can it wait a couple of weeks?
It can wait. It can wait. The surveyors are working on the consultant for the contractors working on the plat. And that will need to come before council for approval. That along with the agreement or the restrictions on the land that will be placed and recorded at the courthouse. So that process is underway, but rather than hitting you folks cold turkey here in 2 weeks, we felt it best to put it out in front of you now so you have a full understanding of what we're doing.
This need to be a public hearing?
I don't think it necessarily need to be a public hearing, but I'll check into that. If we do, it'd probably just be a 7-day notice.
Okay.
But we'll check into that. We'll have it on the agenda next meeting.
Okay. Well, Randy, I would mention it in your manager's report and ask if anybody has questions to come and talk to you and Wayne to get the background of it.
Okay.
I support that as well, Henry.
All right. We good? Number 4 now?
Mhm.
Marissa, can you pronounce that?
Nope, don't want to try.
It's PFAS.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
That
go.
sounds good.
Polyfluoroalkyl. I know that we had a great discussion with that Virginia Tech professor, Naki.
Hmm.
Dr. Naki, yes, ma'am.
Naki, okay, I figured there was a
Yep.
few pronunciations. And I definitely wanted to comment that I appreciated his candid and honest responses. It helped me understand the process a little bit more. I'm still concerned about it, but I understand the process that people have to go through. So I appreciate the invite to attend that meeting.
So is
Understood.
the water authority testing for this now, or?
No,
No, but after these presentations that we've seen, I expect that at board level, we will start discussing this, Councilman Showalter. Yes, sir.
Okay.
it seems almost like a Pandora's box, to put it lightly, Henry.
Yes. But it's coming.
Right. It'd be nice if it was sooner than later, but
Always.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel good about this. I feel like since I'm the one that had originally brought it up, I trust that our engineering department and our water authority can handle this. I wouldn't expect it on the agenda going forward. I'm okay tabling it for now and waiting on any resolution from them to us. How do you feel about that, Henry?
That's fine. This has to do with sort of what happened, and just to give me a background, make sure I'm understanding. You've been working on this a while, Marissa, but this also has to do with the West Virginia water system, where
Yes, correct.
Teflon, things like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's the DuPont chemical plant. I mean, that's just really one
Okay.
example, but it's the largest and the most well-known.
Okay. So, okay. So are we good with number 4?
Well, I feel like we haven't had a chance to discuss this internally.
Mm-hmm.
I know a letter came to Public Works here, most recent. We just received a copy of it today. Department of Defense, in regards to the armory, is requesting some testing to be done. Naturally, I'm bringing this up because I don't want you to think that I knew about it at this meeting and didn't bring it up. But the letter is in our possession, and we will be talking about this and how we move this request forward.
This has to do with the PFAS.
Yes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's
testing
becoming,
huh?
I'm sorry, it's becoming a really big issue. So I'm almost glad to see it going up the flagpole and pushing people to do something.
Yeah. So Wayne, we are going to be responsible for testing around the armory on College Street.
That has not been established yet.
Okay.
The request is out there, and I think we need to discuss how we move this request forward, whether it's through the town or through the water authority.
Okay.
That's interesting, because if the government is going to require it, then the EPA should as well, which gives everyone underneath them the authority to have these tests.
Yeah, or the DOD, since that's, even though that's an armory, isn't the National Guard or the DOD or the state of Virginia responsible?
That's who's responsible for all the bills now that we're free of the building.
Okay.
We were basically paying maintenance and things like that for the building, but
Right.
now that they've completely taken the building over, they've taken all the billing responsibility.
So are they going to take on the responsibility of testing for these PFAS?
That's what I would ask of them.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely makes me more interested now, Wayne. If you can just stay in touch with us.
Oh, certainly, ma'am.
Yeah.
Certainly. Yes, ma'am.
Thanks.
What,
Yes.
that they are now looking at their facilities federally for the PFAS?
That's what it appears.
Marissa? Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
That's how I understand it too. That's, I mean, inside, I'm all giddy and excited about that.
Okay. All right. Are we good?
Yep.
Number 5, other items? Does anybody have any other items?
I think the only thing we've encountered recently are some a trash concern. Randy, her name fails me. I believe she was in the downtown area, and her trash was not picked up on a continuous basis. Oh, I wish I could remember her name.
I know we've had a few issues. I think we've gotten those straightened out. I haven't heard, I guess, a complaint recently. I occasionally get one of, we either miss a garbage cart or a recycling cart. I can't say that we have too many chronic cases.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey, Randy,
Yes.
can you hear me, Randy?
Yes.
Hey, that was at 406 West Main Street, I believe, Marissa.
I think you're right.
I cannot remember her name, but we took care of that. There was some confusion on her part. She was on cart assistance.
Uh-huh.
Whoever was bringing her cart out wasn't bringing it out on the correct days. So we went up and spoke with her, and we've actually arranged where that cart can be placed where our guys can get to it very easy. She was keeping it in her garage and had someone coming over to set it out for collection, and they got confused on the days.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that's good to know. Thank you, Jim. And that's all I have.
Staff doesn't have anything.
Okay. Well, I'm good. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank you.
participating in this, and we'll see you tonight, or most of you tonight.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Take care.
Thanks, everyone.